Deacon. Is that some kind of animat?
Ikera. And I thought I was the master of first impressions.
Stay close, Ishi. That's one heavy bird.
I'm not too proud to admit when I'm scared. Terrified, actually.
So alone. Never alone. Is Kaizo breached? Here. We have been here. We're the gates of Kaizo. We guard the silence of Kaizo. You are a disturbance. Aethys has disturbed the bones of Kaizo. The old pacts permit him to pass. But you will go no further. Kaizo is closed. The gates are barred. Our covenant with the Old Ones does not forbid questions. The son of Ngati deserves to carry truth to Barath's wheel.
I do not plan on joining my mother in the beyond this day, Ancient One.
The chosen people of the Deadfire called Kaizo home. The outsiders were their contemporaries, full of wisdom, ingenuity, and terrifying ambition.
The Angrythans. They made you.
You? No, daughter of Amira. Us. The Old Ones and the Outsiders traded, collaborated, learned, and built together. Outsiders augured the doom of the Old Ones. The rift unmade them both. The Outsiders coveted ancient Ukaizo. Its occupation was a hindrance. Machines were built on a foundation of outsider lies. When the machines were nearly done, the outsiders constructed bodies of flesh and bone. Skeletons now. Their remains littering Great Ukaizo. Ones which drew the spirits of the dead through a sieve. Finally, the outsiders fashioned a guardian to stand vigil over their work. Our bond with the Old Ones compelled us to trust their allies. They offered us a trade, eternal life for eternal service. We were ordered to slam shut the gates of Ukaizo for all time.
And the Ingwithans turned this thing against my ancestors?
Necessary, son of Ngati. The outsiders vanished from the world, leaving the Old Ones dumbfounded. Quiet gave way to chaos. Storms battered the seas. The sleeping hearts of mountains awoke with fury. When the last screams of the Old Ones faded, only we remained. None but the green colossus whose every footstep disturbs tranquility. You are the first kith to visit the shores of Lost Ukaizo, and you will be the last. Now you know. And nothing you have learned can spare you from our obligation. May your journey through the wheel be an informed one.
Mikera, let it be so.
Your principles do you credit, but you have sailed here to die. The silence of Ukaizo will be restored. Time will dismantle your bones.
Wait, serious?
be so.
Spice?
I hear you. The season of harvest is here.
Right in the Ioun Stones.
Let the light guide you to your death. Let the light guide you to your death.
Take care with your aim.
Right in the Ioun Stones.
This will not do.
And they say I'm the reckless one.
Better get to it, Captain. The Green Boy isn't going to wait around for us.
Yes. You only have to ask.
Captain, just look at where we are. There's no time to waste, I say.
Beautiful. I know it can kill us, Captain. Just let me have the moment.
Once again, it seems you have led me into a divine mess. At least this time, we will see the gods get what they deserve. And thanks to you, the company will benefit in the end. I am honored to have served with you, Watcher. You are and will always be my command. Let us go.
We gonna do this or what? If it's all the same to you, Watcher, I'd rather not miss the moment my god brings the darkness down upon us. How could it not? Gone is the aspect of death and decay. The other side of Aethys, who we know governs the process of rebirth. But Aethys died in the Saints' War, and now gone is going to destroy reincarnation as we know it. Tell me, Watcher, can there be a god of light and birth if souls themselves can no longer be reborn? It was, and I'd do it again, only bloodier this time. Think of all the souls I could have gathered if I'd reaped them right from the living. Sure, you can trust me at your back, even if you're going against my god. I thought it'd be different how it turned out, but I couldn't dream of any other way. Now then, shall we go face my god for one last time? Find out what it is we can or can't do in these end times. Whether we're meant to wither or thrive. Consider me your second shadow.
So, here we stand on Lost Ukaizo. Considering that all the powers of the Deadfire have scrambled to converge on this spot, you can forgive me for expecting more. My parents gave me an earful about the horizon-spanning beaches and towers reaching beyond the stars. All I can see is good folk tussling. Time to confront Aethys, hopefully for the last time. You know what you're doing? No time to waste then. I'm about as ready to confront a god as I'll ever be. We're doing good work here. Setting foot on Ukaizo is a statement that no one can ignore. You should be proud. Captain, I don't know what's gonna happen to us, but I want you to know that I'm not scared, and I'm glad you're here with me. I know we can, Captain. We're good like that. Go give the green boy a piece of your mind.
I am thinking that Aethys has come this far, and he will not wait on you before he finishes what he started. If he shatters what is sat in the heart of Ukaizo, this action will ripple beyond the Deadfire, beyond life as we know it. I will make sure that what we find here goes toward the Huana cause. The Crown's faith in Ngati's chosen will be justified. The land of my mothers, as real as anything that rises up from the bed of the sea. Also, smaller than I expected. This should be as interesting as the last time I confronted a god-possessed Adra Colossus. Captain, I am my mother's son. I have seen things you would not believe. What say? Shall we find him, Captain? I have stood here before. As a boy, I dreamed of a tower made of water. I stood at the pinnacle and made obeisance to Mother Ngati. This tower, this view, Ngati's covenant, the first form of water shaping. It is here, waiting for me. So beautiful. But look what they have done with you. I remember. I am the tremor that inspires the tidal wave. The pebble that calls the avalanche. Mother! Your son has found his birthright where you left it! My people never doubted that Ngati's Chosen would find our ancient gift. Kara, I did not share their confidence until now. I am ready, Watcher. Let us finish what we started.
The machine controlling the storm winds down. The clattering of its machinery settles into a low whir and then, at last, hiccups to a halt. Beyond the tower, the black, roiling clouds of Andra's mortar roll away from the ancient city of Ukaizo, with only a tired sigh of wind to see them off. And on that last breath of wind, comes to you a familiar sound. The ring of the bells ringing is soft, not the clangor and torrent you've grown used to. It calls to your soul, and your soul yearns to follow it. Your soul flees from your body and into the beyond, chasing that sound. It leads you at last to Bareth's realm, to that cold platform and room of endless doors.
Watcher, your journey nears its conclusion.
The pallid night stands before you, her gaunt face impassive.
That will depend on the will of Kith, whose desires are ever in flux.
The pallid night says,
Soon you will confront Aethys for what will likely be the final time, and you will do so as the Herald of Bareth, the only creature on the face of Eora to whom he will listen.
The pallid night inclines her head to you, black hair hanging lank in her face. She steps back and cedes the floor to Helia with a small, resigned sigh.
If Aethys truly intends to go through with his mad plan to destroy the wheel, a generation's worth of souls will be trapped in the in-between. So many would suffer. How can Aethys be so cruel? He cannot just abandon them. Aethys must help the Kith find a quick solution.
Abaddon strides forward.
Aethys thrust this crisis on the Kith. They did not bring it upon themselves. Their only mistake was entrusting us to watch over them. Who will help them rebuild their world now?
Aethys will reveal every secret of the gods. Will Kith be able to change the established order if they have no wonder to inspire them? Aethys must help them resolve this quickly, lest every one of Eora's few remaining mysteries be laid plain.
You have misgivings. Good. You should be wary of any help Aethys might offer you. With the wheel destroyed, Kith will tear themselves apart. It is the gods' duty to prevent that happening, lest they doom us all. And as Kith must be ruled, so too must the gods. I say that if Aethys is so eager to throw down the mantle of power and step aside, I shall take my rightful place as Queen of the Gods again.
Kith are strongest when they follow our lead, and we are strongest when we lead in turn. United in purpose with the gods, Kith can accomplish things that without us, they could never have even begun. They must be shown their boundaries to surpass them.
Kith will not solve Aethys' puzzle on their own. And without an established order to fight against, the bonds that bind them dissolve, and they fight amongst themselves.
Scan says, and casts a long look toward Wodaka.
You cannot trust us, and you never should have. Only the Kith may save themselves.
Boudica's firm hand is but the motherly smothering of Helia by another name. Mortals should have no special advantages. Only once Kith have striven to improve themselves through trial will they truly know their measure. Kith must suffer to find their strength if they are to survive the world into which Eothas drags them. Our intervention in your struggle would be a cruelty and counter to our purpose.
Galawain says. He lets his words hang in the air for a moment. Gaze, level with your own.
Indeed. Kith must discover for themselves what it is they are worth, and of what it is they are capable. What we do for them, they do not learn for themselves. Trial breeds ingenuity. If our work of generations was not in vain, Kith will succeed in spite of Eothas' actions. I have faith in Kith's ability to meet Eothas' challenge. Do not mistake my words for indifference, Watcher. They are born from a fierce belief in your potential, not a refutation of it.
And yet you come to Ukaizo alone, with none at your back. All that Kith stand to lose. And even then your leaders could not join hands, squabbling instead over prestige and resources. You believe that will change when my final death comes calling? You are a greater fool than I thought. Margaret is blinded by her affection for mortals. She does not see that entropy is the destiny of all things. If Eothas were wise, he would destroy everything. End life, end reincarnation, end death. Kith have had their chance. It is time to let silence reign.
As Rimmergon's words fade, the Pallid Knight returns. She no longer towers over you, a giant even among the gods, but meets you at your height. She lets the arms crossed over her chest fall to her sides. She speaks to you openly, plainly, an expression almost like tenderness, turning up the corners of her lips.
Well, Watcher, you know where we stand. What do you believe? Take care that you do not sacrifice all, Watcher. Only what you must. The things you stand to lose, lives, institutions, beliefs, you may lose for good. Now the time has come for us to part, Watcher. I laid upon you a difficult duty, and you have discharged it well. You will be free of it in time, but not now. You have work to do yet. You are no stranger to hard choices. You killed Theos, and when his soul was laid bare before you, you chose to destroy his memories. You freed him from his past. Remember the strength it took to make that choice, and know that you alone may sway Eothas now. When you stand before him, choose your words carefully.
She claps her gauntleted hands together, and a sound like thunder rumbles through the room. As the floor crumbles and falls away beneath you, you hear the sound of a single bell ringing, and beneath it, the faintest whisper.
It is good to see you awake. It seems the storm has passed.
Do not touch the machine again, I say. The delicate fish can only take so much.
If all your missions involve this many head wounds, then I volunteer to set the next one out.
Gods and darnation. My head.
So now it comes to this, Aimiko. You think to steal my golden dream, but I will not allow it to happen. My gratitude is yours for disabling the storms. It seems I did not require Rivan's ship to reach Ukaizo in the end. The Principi have adapted. No, thrived for centuries. We survived the fall of the grandest empire Eora has ever known. You may slaughter us now and then, but you can never stop us. We will ransom, thieve, and forge a future for our continued blood, long after you are but dust. Gods curse you! I should have drowned you in the wreckage of Port Maggi. Corres, Casita. May your lungs fill so fully with blood that you choke even in hell.
Someone in my sights. Right between the eyes. Your orders? Give me the order.
Check this out. Behold me, mother.
See that, Ishi?
Aim gives you some improvement.
That's easy.
You descend into the ancient, winding streets of Ukaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the gods' great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spears of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound of any life. But with every step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon, you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine. As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the top of a fallen tower, you finally get a clear view of Aethys. He stands, legs astride, next to a great stone monument ringed with 11 cavernous alcoves. All but 3 hold a gargantuan skeleton, bones scrubbed clean by the city's storms. An immense Anguithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by invisible energy emanating from a well of light beneath it. Great brass rings spin around a core of metal and Audra at the machine's center. Periodically, Aethys's massive arms swing back. The movement alone is enough to draw great gusts of wind toward him. When they come down on the machine, the impacts are accompanied by eruptions of electricity, fire, and smoke. The hundreds of luminous Audra pillars across Ukaizo sympathetically dim in a rippling wave that spreads out from the machine. The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra. Intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it has carried through the centuries, the pillar bends in a long arc, towering above the machine. The pillar levels out near Aethys's head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous, rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side. As you arrive at the top, you catch Aethys's attention. fist pulled back, he pauses to observe you. With the same gentleness he showed at Ashen Maw, he lowers his arm and turns toward you.
To see Ukaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also Kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides, all people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of lost Ukaizo.
Can all of that beauty and life return to this place, Mighty One? Has the future of my people awaited them here?
Lost Ukaizo remains only in name, Tekehu. It is a name as barren as this city. If future generations wish to create life in this place, they must look forward as much as they look back.
Ukaizo's corpse is beautiful, my god. This, its current state, is but one spoke in the ever-turning wheel of life and death, and so no less worthy than its incarnation at birth. But you seek to break that wheel. I beseech you, Gon, that when you do it right. Burn to ash every Audra root in hell so that it may never regrow. Let the darkness reign eternal.
It saddens me that the harvesting of souls in my name has brought you to this place, Shoti. But I am the cause, and I must take responsibility for it. I can only hope that after I am gone, you will see there is a brighter future for mortals. It is a future that you can help shape, even if you cannot see it now.
Rauatai gave everything they had to reach this place. In the end, they fell short of hitting the mark. Will we ever have another chance to prosper? Or was this damn island our last hope?
Only you can answer that question, Maya. Rauatai has persevered through great adversity. The storms that ravaged your homeland have ended. But that in itself may present new challenges for your people. It is my hope that after I am gone, Rauatai will work together with its rivals to create a new world, instead of fighting over the ruins of the old.
I want you to know, I appreciate what you are doing.
Ah, but Pallegina, you do so only because in this, you foresee the death of my kin. We have wronged you. We have wronged all mortals for far too long. But after this moment, you may see a change in my brothers and sisters. Humility can be good for the soul, even a god's. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel? And you believe I should give my strength to one of them? I am certain Woodica has convinced you of this course. Why do you believe I should give this power, which we have used so irresponsibly for so long, to any of them? It is true. We created ourselves as equals. Even if Woodica did create a story about her past, to elevate her own glory. You have convinced me, Watcher. The gods do need a strong leader. I will ensure they have one after I am gone. I must attend to my final work now. I cannot delay any longer. You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, I would rid you of it. You are free now, as free as any of us can be. Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. Animancers, priests, even the gods themselves. I have great hope for you, but always remember that your future is for you to decide. Use your freedom well.
Aethys squares himself to the machine. As you move to a safe distance, he draws his fists back and resumes his assault. The blows rain down with increased fervor, but the machine perseveres in spite of his efforts. Spreading his arms wide, Aethys draws power from the luminous Audra clustered around the valley. He returns to his task, each strike bringing with it the sound of cracking stone and twisting metal, the flickering of luminous Audra across Ukaizo. As the ancient machine finally begins to succumb to his strength, so too does Aethys's body, built to withstand the passage of thousands of years. The great Audra statue has finally been pushed beyond its limits. Cracks appear along the hands, then race up the arms. Aethys does not slow his assault, but continues unabated. Its brass rings twisted, the machine spins erratically but withstands the relentless barrage. Aethys stands astride it and pummels the base of the machine. Soul energy begins to flare out from the machine's heart, warping the air with the intense heat. Aethys drives his right fist into the machine's center, the core of metal and Audra. The god lets out a deafening shout, something between a cry of anguish and a roar of exultation. You see Aethys's arm shatter upward from his hand through his elbow. A flash of light and heat bursts from the core, accompanied by a cacophony of destruction. The moment passes as Aethys's shout echoes throughout the valley. Your eyes begin to recover. The god's work is accomplished. The great machine of Ukaizo has been destroyed. The wheel has been unmade. As Aethys's voice fades, the enormity of what you've accomplished sinks in. You have confronted a god. You have rediscovered the ancient city where the wheel was forged, and you have seen the wheel shattered. What comes next is uncertain, but already the legend spreads of the Watcher who survived Andra's mortar and stood toe-to-toe with Aethys. Aethys channels his essence into Bareth, empowering the god of doors, cycles, and life and death beyond all other gods. Bareth vows to maintain peace and order in the here and the beyond, while Kith labor toward a solution. The other gods, for the time being, submit. Under Bareth's guidance, the world becomes a more predictable, stable place. Seasons fall into a disturbingly regular rhythm, and wars, famines, and natural disasters dwindle. But so too do surges of prosperity and innovation. Great minds around the world work methodically towards salvation, both unhindered and uninspired by changes, upheavals, and the unexpected. In reaching Ukaizo and facing Aethys, you have accomplished the impossible. And you have done it without the assistance of the great powers of Deadfire. Your feats capture the awe and imagination of a world that needs heroes more than ever. Some say your intervention prevented Aethys from a far worse act of destruction. Many believe you will be the salvation of Eora. With each day, your legend grows, as does the chaos in Deadfire. Ukaizo remains unclaimed, and the Efekia Channel becomes the site of a near-constant battle as the Huana and the Rauataians vie for control of the unprotected island. The Rauataians rely on their cannons, and the Huana call forth massive waves and beasts of the deep to sink their foes. And while they chip away at one another, the Vailians and the Principi pursue their own ends with increasing abandon. Emboldened by their rivals' distraction, the Vailian Trading Company seizes territory and mines luminous Audra at a startling pace. Huana villages are left at the mercy of unscrupulous speculators, and resource-rich islands are swarmed and stripped. To support their operations, the Vailian Trading Company begins shipping ever greater quantities of supplies and luminous Audra to and from the archipelago. This attracts the attention of the Principi, who target these ships with increasing aggression. The promise of fat prizes draws even more pirates to their ranks. The Rauataians, as well as the Huana, are too busy to stop them. The mysterious deaths of Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa provoke hostilities between the Vailian settlers and the Huawan residents. What starts with angry words escalates to retaliatory killings as each side blames the other. By the time anyone bothers to question the strange coincidences surrounding their deaths, including reports of a cloaked Omawi woman seen in both the port and the village, both sides have gone too far to turn back. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. With the major powers at one another's throats, Nekataka becomes a maelstrom of chaos. Spies and smugglers follow the flow of refugees into the city, where violence is commonplace. Ukaizo remains the coveted prize, and Nekataka fades into an afterthought. The Kahanga leadership takes responsibility for the welfare of the Raparu, and the Gullet starts to improve. What was once a den of crime, poverty, and illness slowly becomes a quiet haven for the Raparu. The loss of Skiarilifus's essence weakens the Water Shapers Guild. Their power wanes and their influence fades. The art of water shaping survives as an arcane curiosity. Your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Aethys. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him. But that changes as word of Aethys' deeds at Ukaizo spreads. After all, what business have they worshipping a god who denied his own legitimacy? The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for decades. It is no longer a holy mission, but it is a mission all the same. Ruanu, the chieftain of the Huana at Tikawara, dies mysteriously. The tribe finds his body washed up on the same beach where Anaharu challenged him to the trial of waves. Some blame Anaharu's vengeful spirit. Others see it as Ngati's final judgment. And a few speak of a strange man seen lingering in the village. The leaderless tribe eventually scatters. Some head to Nekataka, while others seek out the Wahaki. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Aora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. Your companions find themselves changed, in ways both big and small. Adair returns to Hesango, where he reunites with Byrne, the son of his former lover, Elava. Although Byrne regrets not having joined the army of Aethys, he accepts that he tried to go about it the wrong way. Likewise, he comes to idolize his new uncle, who has truly marched in the lighted path. Together they set about bolstering Aethys' following in Deadfire, and prepare for the greater conflict Adair believes is soon to come. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. Early in your travels, Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind. And Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter in a more companionable and less amorous manner. Plagued by constant nightmares and hallucinations, Shodi becomes increasingly disassociated from reality. Meanwhile, her power continues to grow with every soul she harvests. You start to notice sliced-up animal corpses everywhere you two travel. But when confronted about it, Shodi stomps her feet and fiercely denies any wrongdoing. Then, one night, Shodi wakes, but never leaves the nightmare. Shivering uncontrollably, she packs up her belongings and slips away into the darkness, murmuring that she must return to the Temple of Gon in order to fulfill her purpose to her god. Seraphin seems little impacted by your journey. Always knew the gods were larger than me, he tells you, on the evening he decides to part from your company. He's too long put aside those he cares most for. He confesses over a bottle of rum, and he's got leagues to sail to make it right. The following morning, he's gone, leaving only a crude stick figure rendering of Aethys, scrawled into the hull to mark his passage. The Valian Trading Company is initially furious when they learn that Pallegina had assisted the Watcher in claiming Ukaizo. In the chaotic aftermath, the company takes a more nuanced view of Pallegina's actions. The turmoil in the region allows the well-organized company to seize a number of valuable assets from their competitors. Though Pallegina is not rewarded for her actions, nor is she punished, the Dukes and Songreta agree to forget her support of the Watcher. She is quietly reassigned to duty in the Valian Republics, an order she gladly obeys. Despite her good fortunes in the Deadfire, Pallegina mourns the loss of Jackalow for years. She curses herself for not finding her friend sooner, for not protecting him from Captain Tutzadl and his crew. On a few lonely nights, Pallegina composes letters to the Watcher, asking what more they could have done to save him. They are never sent. Time away from the Navy gives Maya Rua some perspective on how Rauatai conducted the Deadfire occupation. No sooner does she return to active duty than she voices her frustrations over some of the more underhanded tactics she witnessed and carried out in the name of the homeland. Her voice carries all the way to the Ranganui, who reminds his admirals that battles are won by superior tactics, but war is a battle of precedent, and winning is not always a victory. The people listen. Though Maya's covert assignment in the Deadfire is considered a success, few claim knowledge of it or openly congratulate her. She receives no praise beyond knowing glances or the occasional raised tankard from her countrymen. She never responds. There's never enough free time to explore your mutual connection. Something about your bond feels unfinished. But as your paths diverge, you start running out of reasons to see each other. In your presence, she's always armed with a pleasant smile and lots of questions. Her embrace is full of warmth. If there isn't time now, someday there might be. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. Takehu never intended to grasp at the destiny his coming foretold, but he finds himself doing just that. He sails from island to island as an emissary from the gods to the Huana people. The tribes welcome his message and use it to bridge their traditions across the archipelago. Huana unity has never been stronger. With Ngati's covenant firmly in mind, Takehu feels confident enough to reshape the very Deadfire. Your farewell is short and cordial. Nothing further needs to be said, and you wish each other well. Takehu does not look back. The sea feels restless in his absence. Your pursuit of Aethys and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. The cycle of reincarnation has been broken. The storms of Andra's mortar have calmed. Yet each ending promises a new beginning. As the sun rises over Ukaizo, Kith turn their gaze eastward, wondering at what lies beyond, and at the world they will fashion for themselves. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Berith, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home. You hope for calm weather.